Hello, everybody. I'm Kaiser Shion here with Pray for Rock, and this is episode 6 of Epic Power Up, the show where we talk about gaming and entertainment news.
So you don't want a live action Tinkerbell movie?
It could be interesting.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
also announced Winnie the Pooh and Beauty and the Beast being done live action.
How the hell are they gonna do Winnie the Pooh live action? That
I don't know. Maybe like something like the Yogi Bear movie, where it was like a mixture of CG and real life.
okay, yeah. Or the Berenstein Bear.
Oh yeah, those two movies were bad. I don't know if that's gonna work for them.
Well, you were not exactly the target audience for the
Why not?
for the Berenstein Bear or
The
whatever.
Berenstein Bears? No,
No, not Berenstein Bear. What am I thinking? This is the recent one.
the Country Bears
No. Oh God, that was even worse.
with Christopher Walken. No,
No.
Paddington Bear.
Paddington Bear. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
I never saw that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Probably won't see it.
Nope.
I don't know how Winnie the Pooh would be, but we'll know soon enough.
Oh man, that's gonna be very easy for them to fuck up. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. So did you watch that video of the Muppet Show trailer?
I saw one trailer.
I think there's only one trailer out right now.
It looks like it's a sitcom.
Yeah.
It could be good. I don't know.
I'm too much of a fan of the Muppets, so I'm gonna automatically
biased.
enjoy it. Yeah.
But bias anyways.
We're biased as fuck, but
The pilot episode comes out, everyone says it's fucking 0 out of 10. You're like, I love it. 11 out of 11.
yeah. 11 out of 5.
Kermit was in it. 11 out of 5. Right?
Basically.
Basically.
Like it doesn't even take their brand of comedy for me to enjoy it. It could be kind of actually no, because Muppets from Space. Fuck.
Muppets from Space.
Yeah, that was bad. I remember that, and the holiday special that they had. I forgot about that one.
The Christmas Carol? You didn't like that
No,
one?
Christmas Carol was fucking awesome. No, the holiday special. They had a TV holiday special.
Kind of like Star Wars.
Kind of like Star Wars.
They had a holiday special too.
Not as bad as Grandpa Wookie fucking masturbating in his light lounge chair, but it's
you know
pretty
that's the greatest thing is when you have fucking biased as fuck Star Wars fanboys and you're like, oh, you might hate episode 1, 2, and 3, but those are still better than that holiday special shit that George Lucas shot out and is regretting it ever since because it's never been put out officially.
that really looked like a B-reel. It looked like a concept.
It had Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah.
They were all there, man.
But if you've seen any interviews with Harrison Ford, you'll know that he's not exactly all there.
He's not all there.
He's pretty fucking weird.
You take any role now. Do another Indiana Jones. Yeah, I'll do it. Bring
People
on
loved the
aliens.
last one.
People
They loved it.
They loved it.
South Park did an episode on it.
They loved it.
I was told. I never watched it.
Looks hilarious. Kids love it. Right?
Yeah.
So you're tired of them revising, these old franchises of movies now. There's no more remakes because they're like, here's a
Kind
sequel
of.
to Jurassic Park. Here's a sequel to Terminator now, and Aliens is getting a movie.
Well, sequels to something that hasn't had a sequel yet is absolutely fine.
They're basically making sequels to movies that had really shitty sequels.
Yeah, if they do that and do it justice, then
'Cause, like,
that could be okay.
The new Terminator movie is supposed to take place after Terminator 2, and they're pretty much ignoring, I think, Terminator 3.
I don't think they're ignoring Terminator 3.
I think this one's taking place before it. So,
Well, the way they did it, I mean, time travel automatically makes plots complicated. But I think what they did was they They ostracized Terminator 3. They're making it like it didn't happen, but it still happened, you know? Because time travel.
Yeah. It's pretty much
But,
like
like-
the Alien movie they got coming out. I think it's going to pick off right after Alien 2, which was, people love the first one and the second one. Third and other ones are non-existent. They don't exist. There is no quadrilogy of the Alien franchise.
I don't remember the third one.
That's how bad it was, dude. You were traumatized, and the memory was wiped,
I don't know about that. I just don't remember it.
Well, it's like rape victims, It's like they don't.
I was raped by aliens. Aliens 3, that is.
There were 3 aliens. And then everyone's all upset for The Witcher 3 downgraded graphics, or slight downgraded graphics.
Yeah, the only thing I could tell was the.
But this is nothing new. Every game that has like a leaked trailer or whatever usually is a target render, and that is their target they're trying to hit at least. They're trying to get as close to that product as possible with actual AI in the world playable,
Yeah, I mean, you've seen this in.
Was it Killzone 2 that was the PS3 launch title? They came pretty damn close to that, I thought.
Yeah, they did pretty good in getting close to the original or the initial trailer that they released, like
You
2
don't think
years
it's,
prior.
Because this has been done years already. This is nothing new. The Witcher 3 thing is nothing new. I think you're kind of jaded if you think that's what the final product would be all the time. You know what I mean? Like when they show a CGI.
No, because I think there's a lot more games that release trailers without full assets or game engine built that still reach what their target
Blizzard
is.
doesn't. Their CGI is very good, very good.
Yeah,
The
but that's CGI, and everybody knows that it's CGI. And nobody's really fooled by that.
But I mean, it's no different than I would say fast food industry commercials, right?
Well, any food commercial,
Right. It's the same thing, right? Because the product looks amazing on the TV, but it's purposely dressed up to look that good. But then when you actually go there and you get the fries and burgers or whatever, it's quickly put together, and it shows.
Yeah, it's slapped together.
But you don't really bitch about that too much, right? You're just like,
Yeah,
you
that's
already
true.
know But I don't see why. People...
Well, then again, I think we're just kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? You're numb to the commercials. It advertises a product, and you're like, yeah, okay, product.
Right, it's just right through you.
That's not what it's gonna look like, and I know this.
People are just kind of blew it out of proportion. Then
probably, especially
the game looks good anyways. And then the Konami guy, Bloodstain Kickstarter, reached all of its goals. Fucking.
Oh yeah, the spiritual successor for Castlevania.
Now, what do you think of these things? Of where
I love, even if the game does not reach what its actual goal is, not like money wise, but playability, like the gameplay and all that stuff. Yeah. I love the fact that publishers said that people don't want these kind of games, which is basically side scroller adventure.
Yeah. But why do you think they didn't want to do it? Because
they didn't think there was any money in it.
Okay, but there's no money in it. But you had Mighty Number 9, getting the money right away. Ukulele, which is like a Banjo-Kazooie collect-a-thon kind of game, Spyro the Dragon, right? 3D platformer. A lot of those died because of the element of better games coming out. No one really cared. To play a game where to progress, you needed to collect this shit to move to the next level. Right? That's how those games worked, if you recall.
Yeah, I mean, there's walls, basically. You gotta get double jump to get over this wall. Now you gotta get
right. And you sit there and say, well, this tells you that they want a Banjo-Kazooie game, from Rare, because the ex guys of Rare made Ukulele, which looks amazing. And then people want a 2D Castlevania. They pretty much want Symphony of the Night Part 2 is what people want.
Yeah.
You know, basically.
That's what I want.
And they never did it. And then the guy left and he's like, well, I'm making Bloodstain, which is Castlevania without the name, you know. But Mega Man is another one. Mighty Number 9. It gets funded quickly. But you'll sit there and say, well, maybe Capcom, Konami doesn't know that there's a demand for these 2D kind of games still, right? Even if they were to release them for $20 on the stores, digital, no physical copy. Make it cheaper, right?
Yeah.
But given the success of these Kickstarters that you know they're aware of, why not use the license? Why not make a Mega Man right now? Why not do a Castlevania right now? They have that right.
Well, it's kind of too late now.
You think so?
All the fans are now focused on Mighty Number 9 or Bloodstained.
Capcom come out and says, here's Mega Man Legends Part 3.
Yeah, but it doesn't have that person's name on it.
You think that
it might
matters
not be
anymore?
Not really, not truly, but it does affect the game, and you know it does. I mean, they did I saw a little GIF of a comparison of Mighty Number 9 and Mega Man. The jumping and moves, and it moves exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's just basically somebody modded the sprites to look differently. That's all it is.
It's a reskin.
Yeah, so I don't know if they could. I mean, yeah, they probably could achieve that without him. But at the same time,
I mean, come on. I mean, they
it's
did
like Apple.
Mega Man 9, which was an NES, basically, Mega Man game. Did that sell well? Why not do a Mega Man 10? It probably didn't do as well as for Capcom to fork over the cash to do another one.
Did it sell well?
I don't know. I don't have it. I don't play it. But
Yeah,
that was a game.
I never liked Mega Man.
Yeah, but that
I never
was
got into
Mega
it.
Man 9 was a game that came out a couple years ago, and it was for that fan base of like, you like old school 2D Mega Man, NES, Super NES. Here we go. Maybe, you know, that's what it is. Like, they released that, and maybe the numbers weren't as satisfactory as they would like, and they're like, you know what?
I don't know. Like you said earlier, it's probably people that are in love with the idea, and it's a small fan base to begin with. I mean, as long as they fund it on Kickstarter, most of the people, depending on how much the money they donate, are going to get a copy of the game anyway, or at least like an alpha or beta release.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, they got $2 million funded. That doesn't necessarily mean 2 million people. What as a game sale would mean 2 million in sales. You know what I mean? So me, as an example, I'm like, oh, I donated $4,000 to the Bloodstain campaign. You know?
Well, I think what they got to do is, I don't know how much of this, what large portion is actually going to the higher ups, but they got to reduce the production costs.
Games cost money these days, a lot.
Yeah, they do. But at the same time, if you look at some of the the indie games that are released,
they're all retro styled. Yeah.
Well, even if they're not retro style, I'm trying to think of something. Well, if they're not retro style and they come out and it's indie, you know they didn't cost millions of dollars. Indie companies or indie developers, yeah. You know, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 at the most.
Right. A nice little house. Basically,
yeah. Which is a lot to you and me, but to a company, that's, you know.
It's pennies, yeah. But yeah, you just sit there and wonder then, why doesn't Konami or Capcom just say, this is what they want, let's give them what they want with the name that they want, right? Because that's all people, you know, they want the name.
Well, you worked for a large company, and you know that the executives don't give a shit about what the lower people say, and they have focus groups or whatever that tell them what people want.
The focus groups are all wrong, right?
Yeah, the focus. I mean, we don't go to focus groups, and we're gamers.
And yet, there is video game companies that would bring in people to play a game, and it's like, you brought in people who probably don't play these games, or
they're just in between jobs and they need fucking cash.
I'll do it. You can pay me $20 to play some video game, okay?
And they're just gonna
watch
get
a
this
movie.
mediocre, like
Watch a movie like, oh, it's too violent, you know, and it's like Friday the 13th, and it's like, well, it's supposed to be, you know. And
like, what are you gauging this off of? What's your
and
what are you comparing it to?
maybe that's got to change in the industry then.
Yeah, well,
But then it's like, okay, this is an opportunity though for Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft to step in and be like, we will fund the game.
Well, that's what happened with Street Fighter.
Maybe.
Street Fighter 5.
You think that's what happened?
Well, okay, two things now. Yeah, that's what happened with Street Fighter 5. You know, they didn't have enough money to basically. They said they didn't have enough money to make a next Street Fighter. So Sony stepped in and said, "Hey, we got monies.
We got monies.
We can shares, because you know we didn't die in the PS3 generation like everybody expected.
We got monies now, and we can help."
Yeah, and they did.
There's reasons though, so we help.
Well, yeah, those companies wouldn't fucking evolve. Yeah, they would make new games with better graphics, but the companies themselves would not fucking evolve.
So it doesn't upset you though, like Capcom, right? Being there since NES days, you know, they've been around 30 years, and they cannot fund a Street Fighter game themselves, or at least where it would be like, you know what? To do a Street Fighter 5, we need this budget to do it right, to raise the bar higher than Street Fighter 4, right? You want to do the franchise justice. You just don't want to shit out. Right? So it's like, you know what? We don't have the money to do that. What does that say about the company, though? Like, you would say Street Fighter, Devil May Cry, all these games are like their IPs that are like the mega sellers, and they can't even make that.
Like I said, like they haven't evolved. They're not evolving with the market, because the market is going more towards microtransactions and, you know, indie games that are $5 or $10. You know, and they're not gonna. They probably
you think that market's gonna crash?
Not really, because I mean,
so you can see
who's not gonna have the money to buy a $5 game that'll play on a fucking Intel Atom processor with no GPU?
So you agree with Konami in their direction of the company saying we want to focus mainly on mobile gaming?
Not really.
As a company, though, you're looking at the profit margin.
You don't have to spend tons of money to put out a good product. It's as simple as that. You can
play
spend
Metal Gear Solid on your phone. Microtransactions.
That's not what I'm saying. You can come up with new IPs that are microtransactions. Look at Planet Side, okay? Planet Side 2. It's a big game, but it has microtransactions.
Free to
But,
play.
you know, it's free to play too. You don't buy the initial copy. You just download it and you start playing. And they've supported themselves pretty fucking well. I'm sure none of them are rich, but
they make do.
It works.
Don't you think a lot of these games?
And look at the complexities of Planet Side 2. You got a region.
It's a different kind of game though, as opposed to what's on.
Well, it's like
iOS
an MMO shooter. It's calculating so much shit, bullet drop, and way people are aimed, and the armor and the resistance and
on your
whatever
Google and iOS devices, right? That's where all the money is now, at least for now.
Well, you can you don't have to focus on one or the other. It can be both.
I
mean, look at Sony. They had a bunch of different, divisions out there.
Far too many.
Yeah, too many. That's why they kind of consolidated some of their stuff.
They should still get rid of some more.
Yeah, they spread out a little too thin, a little too fast. And, they got rid of the Sony Ericsson line, and they basically made Sony one company again. Which I'm sure did nothing but benefit them. But how do you feel about that, too?
It's like mobile games in general are the ones that are free to play with the microtransactions,
Well, the reason why they make so much money is because they're so cheap to make.
Yes, but don't you think the games are actually finished and completed? The content is purposely removed from the game, and therefore it's free, but this game would actually cost you, say, $50 retail or through the iOS store or Google Play Store. $50 for this video game. No more microtransactions. Probably wouldn't sell as well.
No.
But they could get the $50 $1 at a time. And ultimately, to get the full game experience, to bypass all the fucking timers, you spent $50 to get where you're at the end of the game. So you're basically buying a $50 game, but you're like leasing it out, right?
I do agree with that model, but I also disagree.
But that's basically what it is, right?
The paywalls are annoying. But at the same time, like there's one big ass paywall to buy me some Metal Gear Solid. $50 or $60.
$400 for the system.
there's that little hurdle too. But I'm talking about like to actually buy just the game itself. If I already own the console and everything to play the game, just to buy the game is $50 to $60 plus tax or delivery. Now, like a little mobile game, $5 to buy and like
99 cents per whatever.
Yeah, per gem packet.
It's like
box, whatever. Yeah. That's not that bad, especially when they hook it up to. It makes it easier when they actually hook it up to like your Apple ID or your Google Play, your Google Play ID, and you can just hit a button and it automatically buys it without you having to put any credit card info in.
Yeah, basically you just use your thumb on iOS and be like, "Oh, you bought it." You know, $99. Yeah. Now I'm gonna contact them and say my son did it. You know. But
oops.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't consider those really games though. Like if you play those games, I don't think you're a gamer. Even though yes, by the definition, you play a video game, you're a gamer. If you play Farmville on Facebook, you're a gamer. But
okay, now we're going into like.
Do those people matter? Do their opinions matter in the industry that you really care about?
This is like the people that listen to like punk rock and people that listen to like Celtic punk. They're like, Celtic punk isn't punk, it's just a bunch of
I know, but if you listen to punk rock music
punk.
And then you have someone who listens to Green Day, the popular of them all, and they're gonna sit there and dictate what goes next. It's like the feminist movement. You got a lot of them who don't actively play games, and they're dictating what's going to be in games now.
Yeah, I mean it's the micro groups that are the loudest that kind of dictate where the industry goes. Meanwhile, GTA 5 has proven you can spend a lot of money on a game
and make a lot of money
But then again, you can. Minecraft has done the opposite. Spend very little,
make a lot of money,
stealing somebody's code, making a game, and make a lot of money.
And then quit the industry and.
Yeah, when Microsoft buys your product outright,
because you realize I am just a one-hit wonder. I'm not coming back to the game industry. We all know
Obviously,
that.
Scrolls is not going to make another $1 billion for me, so I'm just going to take.
Do you
Microsoft
think?
Billion.
Do you think a Minecraft 2 is going to happen?
Eventually, it's got to.
What do you think? Will it be like Terminator 2 for the franchise?
There is very few things that are able to do that.
No?
Yeah.
Because on YouTube, I believe, unfortunately, Minecraft is the most popular video game to do on YouTube. It nets you the most views. There's just a shit ton of content for it.
YouTube definitely helped Minecraft, though.
Yes. So,
just them not even bothering people about, DCM or
right.
copyright claims. Yeah, everybody knows that nobody's gonna say anything if you release a Minecraft video and monetize it, even if it's like
they don't care,
vanilla, and you do nothing but play the game. They don't give a fuck, and that has helped popularize the fuck out of this game.
So, what do you think of that? Of Nintendo being the major one of not allowing people to monetize certain content on YouTube.
Another company that refuses to evolve in that aspect.
But at the same time, you agree that it is their content and they have every right.
No, yeah, they have their They're
just going to be a dick about it, but they do have rights. Same with Notch in Minecraft. He could have said, "No, fuck that. I want all the videos taken down." He could easily do it.
Yeah. It would take forever at this point.
YouTube would be down to 30% video. But
we got this fucking server space. People start uploading videos. We're empty.
You see that all the time. There's fucking dicks of them. I was like, don't monetize it then. Just put the video up and don't monetize it. You still get traffic to your channel or whatever, and
start Patreon accounts. People love those.
Start donating $1 to help my video games. Even though I won't use that money to actually buy any equipment, kind of like Anita Sarkeesian.
I already had this shit.
I already had this shit. The videos look the same. I'm sitting on $100,000 now. Thanks for buying me a new house.
Yeah. Now I have no payments for that.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever.
Oh
So,
my god,
okay.
these people.
Okay, let's get back on track. We went way the fuck off topic. Holy shit. Okay, so the Bison combo trailer. You think so? You said it looks pretty much like
It looks like Street Fighter 4.
Unfortunately,
Visually, you know, I mean, I don't expect dramatic changes though, nor do I really want that.
yeah, it's a formula they got to follow for Street Fighter.
I love Street Fighter 4. You know, so I will buy Street Fighter 5. I want to play it wherever that franchise goes. I would go. I mean, if Microsoft got the exclusive deal or Nintendo, I'm going there. There's
that
no
big, huh?
It's that big to me. Like, I love that there's like certain franchises that you love no matter where they went, because you're not going to hold the company, like separating the art from the artist kind of thing, you know?
I don't know if there's anything that big for me as far as video game wise.
Like, if, you know, Metal Gear
I know
Solid,
exactly what
like
you
Metal
mean.
Gear, yeah.
Like, yeah, the Metal Gear Solid 4 is what made me buy the
I know,
PS3.
but for example, the people behind Street Fighter games are not always the same people. I will always buy a Street Fighter game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not the same
Yeah.
people making Street Fighter 1.
If Hideo Kojima left Konami and makes a spiritual successor, makes a spiritual successor, and he says, you know what? I'm going to make a Splinter Cell game. You know? I would still buy, if Konami put out another Metal Gear game, I would still buy it. Because I like the world, I like the lore, the story, the gameplay mechanics, and it's one of those things of like, everything's already built there. You just have to put the pieces there. You can't really fuck them up too much, you know?
Yeah,
At this point,
I mean,
Street Fighter,
they've got the foundation.
Yeah, the foundation of Street Fighter is laid out perfectly. Like,
it's hard to fuck it up at this point.
It's hard to improve it and then fuck it up. I mean, you could fuck it up.
Well,
you know, you definitely can, but
like, well, as far as fighting games go, it's hard for them to really change anything and not alienate their fan base to begin with. Like, there's not much they can do besides
Street Fighter
add
has
or
a following,
subtract
you know.
characters.
I mean, like Tekken, and you know, they have a dedicated base there. And what's great about that is you have that base there no matter what, and they don't really care if you welcome new people in. Just make a game for them, and it will sell, or at least it would sell enough to be like, okay, we could do another one. We could do another one.
Yeah, but they've got a target. They've got a small target they have to hit, because they have to change enough to make the people want to buy the new one, but they got to keep it the same so it still feels like the franchise.
Yeah. But
So
the new Tekken game looks good too, though.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing they could do,
I like that game. I'm not very good at them, but I do like Tekken.
I think the best thing that they could do is basically just up the graphics, like keep updating the graphics, but try to keep adding characters and keep the ones that people really love. And
Keep the
ones
fan
that
favorites.
and also keep the ones that have the hardcore niche character.
I mean, you still want the
fans.
the essential rock paper scissors kind of gameplay where one is not completely OP to all characters. You know, you want to be able to, like, this guy is a good matchup for this guy, but also a weak matchup for this one. You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like card games, like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh or Hearthstone. Like, you want a fair balance, and that's hard to do. Especially if it's a digital, like all these card games are like RNG. So you can make your deck, but it's all random shuffle that you're pulling the next card from the top.
Yeah.
But you don't want a card to be like, well, this card makes me win no matter what, and there's no counter to it, you know?
But at the same time, you want that feeling. Like, you want to give people that feeling, like, you want to pull this card. This is
But
the
in a
card
game
that's
like
gonna
that,
end
you know,
all the
in
game.
Street Fighter and Blaze Blue and stuff, you can make a comeback with a pixel of health while the other person has 100% health.
Oh, yeah, we've both done that.
But in
numerous
a card
times, even
game,
online.
In a card game, is that possible?
Yes, because actually I was playing Magic 2015 recently, because I downloaded it on the phone. It's free. And it made it actually abundantly clear that it's more of just the way, you know...
You think it's just random luck, but also the luck that you're given?
It's it's randomness and luck. However you want to say it. Those are pretty much the same thing to me. But it also depends on what you see on the field. Like if you you have a card that destroys all the mana on the field, and you have mana in your hand to drop down so you can start over again, and it also destroys their mana, but you don't know that they also are saving mana up in their hand.
So you're blind because they can hold 4 cards. You don't know what those 4 cards are, basically.
Yeah, and they could all be land, and he can be like, oh, I'm glad I didn't fucking drop these because this asshole just destroyed all my mana.
Right, but in those kind of games, is there always a winnable move, or are you actually dealt a deck of cards and the other person has a deck of cards, and no matter how you play, you could play it to the T and you would still lose? Or is every game actually winnable?
I think the most key part is knowing when to play a card that you've gotten
and when not to.
Yeah, and when not to.
When to just take damage
It's
for
kind
no
of
reason.
it's kind of like poker. Because you also have to have a poker face. I mean, you draw that fucking hero card.
Online?
You're like, no, not online, but like in person, you pull that fucking hero card that you know is about to fucking just pull out 20 wolves at once, and you can't be all giddy, or they're
like
gonna
in
start saving
Hearthstone.
up cards. They're gonna start saving up like destroy creature cards and all this stuff.
So like Hearthstone, you'd be like, oh, I got one badass card that has like a 9 attack. You throw it out on the field, and then like the other person pulls out a fucking cheap card that transforms that card into a 1/1. 1 health, 1 damage.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, he just fucked over my best card.
And it also has like an attachment on there where it's like, if you destroy this card, remove it. It also destroys what it's attached to.
Yeah. So it's like, you go ahead and attack me, and you die. And the character has a taunt, so you have no choice to attack it.
Anyway.
Why rage quit? That's the only problem I have with the online games. Actually, with Hearthstone and stuff, is people quit in the match. Yeah. Or people do a thing where it doesn't disconnect you right away, but it gives you like a reconnecting kind of screen, but it doesn't boot you from the game. It just says, it's like loading kind of thing. And they would do this on purpose. At first you think like, oh, maybe it's bad net code, right? But you could tell it's done intentionally, because when it's your turn, it happens. Therefore, the timer's running out on your end to actually play a card, because there's a timer. You just want to sit there and be like, oh, I'm just going to sit here, make the guy quit on me because I'm just going to leave my phone running or my game running, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you would see this disconnecting screen over and over, and then it's like by the time it reconnects, it's his turn, and he's got like fucking 8 cards put down, and it's like, okay. But
So
at the same, he's cheating.
Press standby on your fucking modem.
He's pressing standby so you don't get any turns, and he's building up a deck, I don't get mad about stuff like that. I actually enjoy it because it tells me I'm playing the game better than he is, and he has to resort. It's like in Street Fighter when someone quits when you're about to win. Like they're on round 3, it's the last round, and you're demolishing them before the KO even kicks in. It's like disconnected.
And they're practiced at it. You can tell that they're practiced at it because
the timing of it is perfect, right?
They like have cables long enough where they have their modem next to their couch.
Yeah, and I was like, I can see, some people get upset with the rage quitters, but I think it's like, okay, that tells me I'm doing something right. That's how you gotta look at it. You don't have to resort to cheating. They're just like, fuck it.
Well, yeah, that's the whole reason why I broke that fucking disc. Blaze Blue.
Blaze Blue.
Couldn't even fucking touch the ground.
No. Just
about to hit the ground. Nope, don't even hit the ground.
I'm sure there was something you could do. You just didn't know what to do.
There was probably plenty of things that I could do. I just didn't know what to do.
The dude controlled the match.
Yeah. Read me like a book.
How did it feel?
Felt bad, man.
Felt bad? Just think, though, like when you went to EVO and competed, it didn't happen to you like that there, surprisingly.
No.
Or some dude just like fucking raped the shit out of you. We're like, I shouldn't even be here. I don't even know why I fucking paid money to sign up, right?
Like, yeah, EVO. But that's also the the bottom tier. Start at the bottom and work your way up like a tournament. This was, basically randomly set depending on your level. Nintendo North America hires Bowser as CEO.
What's his real name? Or his full name? Tell me it's Junior in there too.
You got a kid named Koopa too.
The Koopalings.
He's a big Nintendo fan.
I bet he is. It's my destiny to become a CEO of a certain company because of my name.
Okay, Nintendo of America just hired a new vice president of sales, and his name is Bowser. No, it's not fire-breathing antagonist. Blah, blah, blah.
Was he only hired because of that name? And you're using it as a marketing?
His name is Doug Bowser.
It's his destiny, right?
And he brings decades.
Dicks. He
Dick
brings
AIDS.
Dick AIDS. Brings the Dick AIDS to Nintendo. Because they need more AIDS over there.
Sure, why not? Doug Bowser brings decades of experience, not fire breath, to new role.
I'm sorry.
That was perfect.
I just think of Dick AIDS. Yeah, but Nintendo's bringing back their world champions.
Yeah.
E3. You don't care?
Not really. I mean, you tell me about this. I mean, it's obviously in the style.
The 1990.
Wizard.
Yeah, kind of.
Ish. Wizard-ish.
Wizard-ish.
Obviously not.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like NES Remix, which is like a downloadable game. And it was like a very bunch of games that were like mixed. So you could play like, here's Mario Brothers, but instead of going from right all the way across, it's left now. You know, they reversed it, mirrored it. Or you could play Mario with the Link running through the Mushroom Kingdom as Link. You know, it's just palette swaps of characters, you know, being in games that they shouldn't be. It's cool. It's like a $15 download game. So it's a
Actually,
novelty.
I think, I would buy that if I actually had
novelty,
a
right?
Wii,
It's cool.
or a Wii U, or whatever it's on. Yeah, I would buy that actually.
So it's supposed to be like Super Mario Brothers, and I think a racing game, and the last one being Dr. Mario. In the very first NES World Championships, 1990, it was original Mario Brothers with Rad Racer, I believe, and then the last game was Tetris. And the whole gimmick was burn through the first two games as quickly as possible to get to Tetris, because it was all calculated by score. So like the first game, Mario Bros, it says collect 50 coins and then you could go to the next game. And you know, I think it's the same rules for the new ones, and most people already have the optimal route of what to do. Like collect 20 coins, purposely die, collect another 20, it's faster, you're done. Next game. Rad Racer, finish a lap was the fastest way to do it, and now you're spending the rest of the time on Dr. Mario or Tetris to rack up your points.
That's only 40 coins.
Yeah. But you know,
I know what you mean. What?
Yeah.
Okay, so they picked the games and everything, so it's just like
It's a fucking
the
Dr. Mario
but-
competition, yeah. But it's funny because it's Nintendo World Championships in which all the locations are at a Best Buy in North America.
So this is not a anywhere overseas.
The closest one to us being in Nevada, we would have to go to California, and not like
Really?
LA or anything. Yeah, it's somewhere else. I forgot the name, but it's a Best Buy, and you have to go to that Best Buy, and I guess register, compete, and if you're one of the finalists, you're picked, and then you're able to basically attend E3 and do the actual Nintendo World Championships there again amongst all the other winners from the other Best Buys. And I was like, you know, it's a novelty idea because it's going off of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Of it, you know, people think of the Wizard and stuff, obviously, but I was like, okay, at E3, are they going to dedicate a large portion of this shit to this competition? And do I care? Does that tell me that they don't really have much to show at E3?
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That kind of sounds about right.
It's going to be there, right? They already said it's going to be there, but I wonder if, like, obviously it would be broadcasted, but I wonder if it's like, oh, we're still going to do our press conference. The competition's taking place right now in another thing. I hope not, but we shall see. I don't care either way because I'm not going to go.
I don't think they would have much to show at E3. I haven't heard anything of them.
Legend of Zelda is what people want, and
yeah, but obviously what people want is not what they'll get.
You always give people what they don't think they wanted, right?
I I don't know. That didn't
Yeah.
work out too well for Capcom now.
Right? you got to give the people what they didn't ask for because they didn't know they wanted it, and then when they give it to them, you're like, holy shit, thanks. No,
I guess it depends on
what it is.
Where you at in your life cycle. Like if you're dying, like Capcom, you may want to give people what they want.
You might want to start getting out them games.
Yeah, that's like Square Enix. Do they?
People want the
Square
fun
Enix.
ones.
This is actually the second thing that I was going to mention earlier, but I never actually got to mentioning it. We got sidetracked. Like Square Enix, are they not releasing Final Fantasy HD or remixed or whatever because they don't think people want it, or are they really saving that as a get out of jail free card?
Well, Final Fantasy VII is coming to PlayStation 4 and stuff, but it's pretty much a port of the same game, like the PC version, I guess it would be now. But it has trophies built into it now, and you could live stream it easier with the PS4.
Yeah,
but it's the
still.
PS1 game still, and it's obviously people want that tech demo that was shown with the fancy graphics, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, they've accidentally built this up, so it needs to
Unintentionally,
be
yeah, it garnered hype.
what people want.
People do want it, but it's, you wonder how many people really want it. 2 million is just because if only 2 million people want it, you got to figure how much it would cost to make that game again, literally ground up again, you know, with the assets that people want. And it comes to a point of like, do we really want to spend, you know, $20 million and devote a nice chunk of our best team on this for a couple years just to make, you know, sell 2.5 million copies? You know, it's one of those things of like, you have to weigh in the risk and rewards of things, and that's executives what they're doing is like,
that's what companies are about.
Because this game is not going to happen in 6 months. I mean, as talented as people would be, it wouldn't happen.
You've got a lot of the stuff done already. A lot of the work, like you've got obviously got the story, you got the characters,
but everything would have to be recoded again,
and all the assets
gone. I mean, it would be making the game again, just like looking at it. It'd be like I give you a book and I'm like, here, just retype it. Don't use a photocopier. You handwrite this entire 2,000-page book again.
Yeah, it'll be faster, but it'll still be time-consuming as fuck.
Time-consuming as fuck, you know? And it's one of those things of like, you know...
But still, I mean,
the game wouldn't be cheap to make, I know that.
No, it wouldn't be cheap. I mean, I don't think Square Enix ever really goes cheap at all. But it would definitely at least garnish attention. The sales would actually depend on how exactly they accomplish it, how they do it. If they make the announcement at that sweet spot, you know, 6 to 12 months out, that's when this game is going to be released.
Yeah, they should never...
Don't announce it like 2 years in advance.
Yeah, because you don't want
that hype train to lose its steam. Yeah.
So you don't want to announce it too quickly. You want to announce it when it's nearly finished almost, and like you have a lot of assets done, and you're like, yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out, you know. There's nothing holding us back. There's no legal issues with anything. You know, you don't want Duke Nukem Forever to happen. Or like Half-Life 3, you know, it's...
Yeah.
Half-Life 3 is becoming the next Duke Nukem, you know.
Yeah, but they never actually said they were making it, right?
I think there's been hints, but people want it.
Like that picture of fucking Gabe Noel, whatever. And the picture in the background said Half-Life 3.
Yeah, I think a lot of those are photoshopped, but
probably
it's funny. People clearly want the game.
It really makes me wonder. Like, I'm sure it's different case by case. Like Half-Life 3 might be different from the case of Final Fantasy 7. But like, why don't they release it? Are they? I mean, Steam is making plenty of money.
They probably don't need to make games, you know, Valve.
No, they don't. But are they just not releasing it due to the fact that they've left on a high note and they don't want to fuck that up?
So that's the other issue. Yeah, it's
are they just trying to keep a get out of jail free card?
Because Half-Life 2 universally praised, man. That was the masterpiece for that company, essentially,
Yeah.
right? It did a lot of good things right.
Yeah, and at the same time, it also
hype.
released Team Fortress 2 in the orange box. So, I
It's
mean,
like, okay,
that's a real high
could they
note to
be-
leave off on.
Could they be like a Naughty Dog? Could they be like Rockstar, where they're knocking it out of the park each fucking time? Could they be like a Pixar? You know, it's very high standards, you know, and
Actually, maybe somebody like Gabe Newell, he got scared. He
Intimidated.
could literally be intimidated by his own product.
be like, I can't live up to what I've.
Yeah.
that was a fucking lightning in the bottle, you know.
Yeah.
And
One
then you
time he
have-
captured
I
it.
mean, Naughty Dog and a lot of these other companies are like one after another. You're like, man, they're on a fucking streak, and it's like it's got to end, right? A streak's got to end.
Eventually, yeah. Like, and when it
When
does
it does,
happen,
it's gonna hit hard though.
well, it depends.
Like
you know, they
Insomniac,
could be
right?
knocked off
They
a
were-
very high pedestal.
Yeah, I mean,
And then the
Square
fans
felt
could
that
turn
a little
against
bit,
them.
You know, with Final Fantasy 13, people didn't really. There's, you know, people love and hate it. It's not universally loved.
They definitely steered away from the original Final Fantasy formula.
But at the same time, I don't really want to find myself playing the take your time battles anymore. I actually like
The more
quicker,
action.
yeah, the action, yeah.
Well, it actually can be done now. It was not
Yeah,
really
I mean,
done
it's
well
not
back
possible
then.
on Super Nintendo, or
No.
I was like, it's gonna be too chaotic.
That's what Banjo Kazooie and Jack and Daxter and stuff like that were for. Or actually, back in the Super Nintendo era, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's the beat 'em up action. That's all that was for. Is like dumb action.
Yeah,
But the
And-
RPGs were supposed to be slow, methodical. Think out your actions.
the beat 'em ups we have today would just be the action games, Devil May Cry and stuff like. I mean,
Yeah, those
or Dynasty Warriors kind of games.
those really haven't evolved. I mean, making it 3D was a hard transition for those,
But now it's perfected at
Yeah.
this point. Like, you just, okay, I'll just do what God of War did, reskin it. I'll do what Devil May Cry did, or Onimusha.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, personally, I don't care for 7. I liked it, but do I want to see Square do a full-fledged remake of it? Yes and no. To me, I'd rather have them do another Final Fantasy and have it be better than 7. Like, that's what ultimately I think everyone would want. Is you don't want to see them turn out something that's just a known classic. You're like, I want to see them actually make out 5 different classics. And then, like, 10 years from now, you're asking people to remake this fucking PlayStation 5 game that they've done years ago, you know?
Yeah, but at
You
the
don't want to
same
live in the
time,
past and just hold on to fucking franchises.
like clearly, Final Fantasy VII is
It's a landmark.
the at least the most well known or best selling
Yeah.
of the franchise. Like, do you think they really can beat that? Because it's kind of a different style. I mean, if they went back to the ATB bar and everything,
I think the new Final Fantasy could come close.
think maybe if they had action
15.
mixed with some sort of
The demo
Timing.
of it is, it's exactly, I mean, it's open world. It's the graphics alone, you know, the summoning coming down.
it at
in
least
the field.
looks like it looks like Final Fantasy 7 or 8 or something if it
looks
was in
Final
a free
Fantasy.
roam
It looks Final
non-random
Fantasy, right?
Yeah, especially with that the only summon that I've seen actually, which
It looks fantastic though.
yeah,
And
which-
that's the one they're
amazing.
willingly showing. And then, you know, what are the others? If there is others. And
what's the end all?
what I think is great is, like, you know, you have people kind of losing their mind over Cindy, the mechanic of the game. You know, she's showing cleavage, and, you know, the feminists don't like it. It's not what a mechanic would wear. And it's like, okay, you're bitching about clothing attire in a Final Fantasy game where a motherfucker summons a god from the sky. You know, I mean, like, you gotta realize, like, it's not really based in a reality like that. Like,
That's
what I
true.
like is, like, the Japanese developers just don't give a shit.
yeah,
Don't like it, don't buy it. You know, that's the way it should be. 'Cause I don't
To an extent.
To an extent, I don't think anyone should change something in a game or music or anything because someone else didn't like it. Now, if the artists themselves were like, you know, I kind of like this new design I came up with, I would accept that. You know, like,
yeah. I mean, it's I'm not gonna say it's all up to the artist. 'Cause, I mean, the artist is actually making it for public.
Yeah.
The public. But at the same time, yeah, you gotta figure out who wants it changed just because they don't like that in anything, and they're not actually gonna buy it or even pay attention to it. Yeah. And figure out who's gonna actually buy it and listen to their feedback.
People are like, it's slutty, but I don't care. You know,
if it doesn't completely defeat the artist's purpose or defeat it at all, period.
Yeah. What I thought was funny is like they had a translation of because they were talking about the character model and saying, there's some controversy. And he's like, well, she's not intended to be sexy and she's not sexy enough personally. Kind of like that's the way they were saying. I was like, yeah. Imagine that's what fucking Tecmo's doing with Dead or Alive. They're like, we could go further. Like
yeah,
we actually
it's achievable now.
But now I'd rather have them come up with some newer stuff. Like I like old stuff too. I mean, I would love Capcom to do an HD collection because everyone's doing these HD stuff, right? I would like to see Onimusha actually put as a collection out. I love that game. The first 3.
Never got into it.
Never got into it?
No, not really.
But I'm just saying, like, they've done Devil May Cry already. They've done all their flagship ones. It's like, Onimusha's the only one missing. Just do it. How much can it really cost them, right?
Another get out of jail free card.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. That's probably why, because very few people, like, the reviews of it when it came out were very mixed, because it was held really high before it came out. People had high hopes for it, and it for the time it was kind of like Fable. They said they were going to do all this stuff, and they gave this vision of this fucking free roam, do as you please kind of game. And when it came out, it's kind of linear compared to what they were giving you.
Yeah.
So the reviews were very mixed.
I mean, what else can you really do in a genre anymore?
There's nothing you can do in genres. You can do subgenres and you can mix them.
That's it.
Yeah. Like, I haven't really liked Final Fantasy since 6.
Role-playing games in general, though.
Or,
what was the last RPG you played?
Last RPG I played was Skyrim.
Yeah, that was back in, 2011?
Yeah, something like that.
A lot's came out since then,
But, I mean, that's the way that
you just
the
not
RPGs
care anymore?
Well, no, there's other games I'm trying to play. I actually got an itch because I was, going over cheap games on Steam, and I came across 2 games, Banished and City Skylines. And they're
Is
both
there a reason why you're going indie
micromanagement.
games and not actual games that you currently have or wanting to play now? Why don't you buy Witcher 3 as an example? That's the latest game. Role-playing game too.
It's probably money, mainly. Not because I prefer indie games or anything like that. I don't really give a fuck how big the company is that makes a game. It depends on if it has enough appeal and if my wallet has enough cash in it. But like I was saying, like Banished and City Skylines, they're both city building kind of micromanagement games.
They're SimCity games.
Basically, yeah. Like, City Skylines is trying to take on SimCity. Like, almost directly. It looks like SimCity 4, or whatever this latest one was, but kind of updated and fixed the problems that SimCity 4 won't. They won't fucking fix. EA won't fix these. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, just looking at those gave me an itch to where I needed to play something. Because the last game that I played that was like that really satisfied me was Caesar 3. And that was released in like 97 or 98 or something like that. I haven't played a good micromanagement game like that.
Like Tropico?
Those didn't satisfy me. I have played those.
The newest one that came out recently too. I mean... No?
Well,
no
I looked at it and they're interesting, but like I said, it's a money thing. That's a full-fledged game, $60, I believe, $50 or $60, something like that.
$50 and more.
Yeah, and Banished, which I just bought and I've been playing for a little while, was $15.
But have you finished Skyrim?
No.
And you already own
That is not my fault, though. God damn it!
You could just restart.
Again? I was playing it on
That's
the PC.
the point of owning the game, is you could play it over and over, right? You don't want to play it just one time.
Yeah, but I'd like to fucking complete it at least once.
Just
At least have a chance to complete it.
all you gotta do is start the game over, put the difficulty
And
slider,
then start it over, and then start it over, and
Put
then
it
start
on
it over,
novice.
and then start it over, and then start it over.
dedicate 2 gigabytes of hard drive space of save files, and you should be all right. You know?
Okay, no, I was playing it on the PC, and 10 minutes in, okay,
Yeah.
it froze twice. And not even like a regular freeze. Not even like, just like,
Alt
Control,
tab it.
delete, or, Alt F4. And no, I had to hold down the power button or press the reset button to get my fucking computer to respond.
It locked up everything.
Yes, and that's hard to do in Windows 8. Maybe I should just try.
You own the PlayStation 3 version too, right? Does it lock up your PS3 and you have to like unplug it from the wall?
Yeah. And that's disc version, and my PlayStation 3 isn't playing disc right now.
You got a new PS3.
Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting about that actually.
Yeah, should go through your backlog.
Yeah. Maybe I should. Lego Dimensions. The third of the what did you call them? Like not paywall, but there's something
It's
else.
just like on disc DLC that you got to buy through figurines. But I mean,
collectible games. Collect everything.
yeah, it's going off that edge. Like everyone says, well, you only need the starter pack to actually complete the game. Yes, but there'll be content in that game you cannot see, or like basically side missions. But to see A through Z, you could use the starter pack. But everyone knows once you buy it, you get the itch, right? You know it's true. It's like buying Magic the Gathering cards. You just don't want to buy one pack,
Right.
You want to hunt for the other ones, and that's the problem. Is like these figures are all going to be $12 to $15. I think is the average pricing for an individual figure, and then they have the sets where you get here's 2 figures and a little icon that can be used with them or something, and those are going to be like $25. That all adds up to like a $300 game.
So
It'd probably be good because it's the Lego brand. But I wonder how this affects their Lego games itself.
Yeah,
because they have Lego Jurassic World coming.
I don't know. Well, then they're probably not going to release anything Jurassic, like Jurassic Park or anything, until way later. Till the sales start to drop off for the Jurassic World.
It'll
Lego
probably
game.
be it'll probably sell well.
Like the quality is no question.
It'll be there. It'll
Yeah.
be like the Lego games we have today.
Yeah. But
I don't know, like,
you don't think there's room enough for another collectible game like this?
Probably is, but
I mean, like, how many people
people?
do you think? Well, yeah, it's already probably divided up. I mean, how many people do you think actually have all 3 games and have the itch to collect all 3? Haven't
Me.
like kind of
Me.
Oh, well then, yeah. But how many people? There can't be that many people. Because I mean, even if you have all 3
I think
games,
a lot of
you're
people
gonna
do.
like one more than the other.
Yes, but you're gonna want all the figures for it, regardless if you can get them all or not, because some of them are hard as fuck to find, and no one wants to go on eBay and pay the outrageous prices.
No.
Nor, you do get annoyed of going to store to hunt for a specific figure, and it becomes a chase, and some people actually enjoy that excitement of the chase. That's the thrill of it. Is like it's not the item.
Everybody still has like a limit to that.
Yeah, obviously to get a full set, it's hundreds of dollars to get a whole set. But I think for everyone that plays one or the other, you have that itch of you want them all still, regardless if you could afford it or not. In the back of your head, you want them all still, right?
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
Only now each one costs money.
Lots of money.
It's a good thing there's not 151.
And then the other thing is when you're going to the store, you're fucking looking at the packaging, you're looking at the figures itself, because some of them, quality assurance needs to be there for the painting. Some of them are not there, Some of them are scuffed up inside the box, and you don't want that one. But then if you're hunting for that figure and you're like, this is the first time I've seen it, and it's kind of dinged up, what can you do? What can you do, huh?
Buy that and keep hunting for a better one.
Replace
better
it with
condition.
another one, yeah. Yeah, see, I mean, that's me. I think a lot of people are like that.
You fucking collectors.
Fucking collectors.
So, did you see the trailer for Godzilla?
The video game?
Yeah.
It's about what I expected.
I'm surprised that they have as many characters as they do in it because
there's
they've got
fucking
like
a lot of movies, dude.
Yeah, I know they are, but like I don't know when the last Godzilla game was. I think it was PlayStation 2. The last Godzilla game was released.
There's
And
a few.
and there has well the most recent one that has a lot of characters. I mean, it doesn't have nearly as many characters as this one. This one has the 3 different Mecha Godzillas.
You got your history with this one, right?
You got like I didn't know there was cyborg monsters or Gyjas, Gyras, whatever the fuck they were called. But like the cyborg Chimera King or King Chimera and stuff like that. Like I didn't really follow Godzilla past Mecha Godzilla.
It's gonna be mainly for the people that love all of the Japanese Godzilla movies and know them, know all the characters, know the crossovers from the other movies, the other big monster movies that weren't
Ultraman.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like just a crazy destroy everything kind of game.
There was one moment in there where that I saw in the trailer that actually got me excited for the game. Besides the characters,
right?
Like just playing all the characters might actually be fun. But when I think it shows Kimura, whatever the fuck its name is, the 3-headed Hydra thing that's flying around.
Ghidorah.
And Ghidorah. You can see down the city, and you see like hundreds of buildings. So you've got like almost literally all of Tokyo to fuck up.
Big ass city to destroy.
Yeah, and it looks like you actually have a lot of buildings to go through.
To actually wreck.
Yeah, and I'm hoping if they show any footage of like downtown Tokyo and it's distinct, it's not just generic gray building number 58, and you can see
it looks like Tokyo.
Yeah, you can see like Tokyo Tower and all these other things to wreck, or at least maybe copyright claims or whatever. But you have something that looks like that.
It could be cool. Depends on the price. I mean, it's a full-fledged $60.
Probably.
Maybe. I mean, I would play it, yes. It's not on my must-buy day one kind of game yet.
No.
Maybe if I see more of it,
I would
probably change my mind,
I would probably actually wait for a discount at this point. But yeah, if they show more of it.
a lot of games day one, and sadly is some of them I have yet to play. And some of them were given out as free games for like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold, and I'm like, I bought this shit when it was $60 day one, and they gave it out free. That's how long I've held on to it and not played it,
Yeah, I've got some games kind of like that.
And it's like, okay, I know I have the money to do that. A lot of people don't, and I was like, I like that. I like the feeling of going and getting it day one, but I need to cut down on that because I have a fucking backlog.
It's kind of like watching a movie day one. It's crowded, and you're
have
gonna
that
end
need
up
of,
being
like,
mad. But like,
I
saw it day one.
Day one.
It's kind of like bragging rights.
Yeah, and it's like, it's a stupid thing, right? When you think about it, like human nature to do. Like, I want to be in the crowd. I want to be able to say I saw it day one too. I was the first person in Las Vegas to see this movie or whatever, right? Midnight.
Yeah, and
it's stupid. It really is.
It's pointless.
It's pointless,
but it's still satisfying.
It's satisfying. It satisfies that itch for a few seconds, and then you're like, oh, I'm out $60.
Tax,
especially if you go to a movie theater and spend that kind of money.
Yeah,
and you're like, man, I could have waited 4 months and bought a Blu-ray and owned fucking 4 versions of it for 15.
Or it's like disc sets, like a trilogy is released. And they, of course they're going to release one at a time. The first one, second one, third one. You bought all 3, and all of a sudden they have the box set. You're like, yeah, buy the box set and sell these or keep these or whatever. And then you turn around and they have like the premium super special box set, like 2 years, 5 years later. And you're like,
gotta get that too.
Yeah, gotta get it.
You knew you had to have it.
What was the other thing? The Doom teaser. That's like
teaser for the teaser.
The definition of a teaser. It's like 2-3 seconds or something of a mob, an enemy, and that's it.
Well, it looks good though. It's supposed to go back to the old school ways of no health regen.
But yeah,
Now, Doom looks good.
The gameplay style is supposed to go back to the original Doom, where it's you start out with 100 health. If you get some sort of the big health pack, it could put you at 125.
But it goes down.
Yeah, but it still goes down, and it doesn't regenerate over time.
Do you think that's
I think it's a good idea. It's going to show kids how we old
how
folk used to play
back then.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they still use, 2 joysticks or the keyboard and the mouse kind of thing, not turn left, turn right, move forward, move back.
Oh, you mean more modern kind of
Controls.
circle strafing kind of controls?
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
Still
I imagine it would be.
everything.
It's just going to be dark and
Is it
violent and gory.
But
I'm excited for it.
yeah, I would actually love to play it, since it's like, if I knew Wolfenstein, this new Wolfenstein was actually a little more of an old style, I probably would have looked more into it, at least, if not bought it.
If you had a PlayStation 4, I would loan it to you.
Oh, it's new generation only.
It's on PC also. I don't think it's on PlayStation 3. I'm not sure.
I'll look it up, see if it's on Steam. It's not an EA game, right? I'll look it up on Steam or something.
Should be cheap enough, but at this point, it's worth it though.
Yeah, I'll look into it. Because I like bringing back the old style. It would actually be nice to have a mix of the way, not like in one game, but have, you have the twitch shooters and you have the slow-paced duck and cover shooters
You want
and
to
all
see
that
like
stuff.
Quake come back again? Unreal Tournament.
I wouldn't mind it.
Duke Nukem.
I mean, the only memories I have of that game is getting owned constantly. Of course, I was, fucking 13 at the time.
And you yearn for that again. Getting owned online repeatedly.
Kinda. If they released an Unreal Tournament to show off Unreal Tournament 4 or
They probably
Unreal
will.
Engine 4 on
They
Unreal
probably
Engine
will.
5, it would probably sell.
Sell some
if it was
graphics
cheapest.
cards.
Yeah.
All right. Buy our NVIDIA card and you get the game for free.
So, I have here the schedule for E3 and the companies. Bethesda is the first day, all by its little lonesome.
It's going to be Fallout.
Fallout 4?
Yeah.
Anything else from them? I think I
A
saw something recently.
bunch of broken ass games from them. I mean,
Oh, that's
people want to play Fallout 4 and have fucking 4 crashes in 4 minutes. So
hopefully they
bloated save files growing and growing. Come on. What else do you expect?
Well, I expect them to eventually fix it. I mean, maybe a big surprise.
I
Nobody.
expect Fallout to be revealed probably at the tail 8 of it. That would be like the mic drop for them. I expect Elder Scrolls Online stuff. Maybe expansion pack or just here's patch notes to come out for. I don't even care. But that's another game. Would they announce another Elder Scrolls? Doubtful.
No, not at this point. They had something else. God damn it, I can't think of what it was.
Microsoft.
Can't wait to see
Halo.
what they have.
Halo 5.
Halo 5 and what else?
Halo
You
5
think-
special
you think they-
editions. Halo 5 exclusive Xbox One edition with like green variant console or something.
A new console with a new paint job.
Yeah.
They're gonna try
Cheaper.
to push the console.
Cheaper.
You don't think they're gonna focus on Kinect? Finally,
It's probably going to be there.
it'll have a presence at least. Maybe like the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes. This is what
They'll
we're doing.
probably show Halo 5 like multiplayer being done on stage with a bunch of people at 1080p, 60 frames for this game.
Most likely. Well, you'd hope.
They'll say, "Oh, you can pre-order this game now in the exclusive Xbox One paint job for like $200. Please buy our consoles."
Please,
Please.
please.
2-year Xbox Live Gold membership free. Probably some TV shit in there too.
Yeah, unfortunately.
They'll probably devote some time to that. Maybe here's footage of like Halo movie or TV series that they got produced. kind of content like that being created for them exclusively on their Xbox Live Store. Watch this episode, or whatever.
Yeah, that's probably going to be, because that was the bulk of them before the release of the Xbox One was, this is your all media thing. This is
Does
the
it
thing
all.
to buy for media consumption.
This is all you need under your TV.
Yeah. That's probably
And they're
the
probably
bulk
gonna stick
of
with
it.
that.
Last 10 minutes, last 20 minutes, games.
Halo 5 probably be the big one, gameplay reveals and just multiplayer footage. Just the graphics will probably be top notch. I expect other publishers to be there to be like, here's Assassin's Creed Syndicate on Xbox One. And then it's like they'll show a certain amount of single player or multiplayer footage of that game on Xbox One. But then on the PlayStation conference, they'll show a different side of the story kind of thing they've been doing. So you'll see that with Call of
Sony
Duty.
and Microsoft to get
show
on stage
both.
more.
Yeah, to do an hour press conference, just split it, right? So it's like you'll see Assassin's Creed, you'll see the new Call of Duty on there, and maybe Killer Instinct, something with Killer Instinct, because they need something for Street Fighter 5. Maybe they'll announce, maybe they got Soul Calibur or Tekken. That would be news.
We're a little bit into the new consoles, this generation of consoles, so I imagine them dropping a lot of big games this E3.
Maybe even some bigger ones for holiday to get people to buy the boxes this year, I imagine.
You think PS4 is going to go for a price drop? I think it's too early. A lot of people are talking about
it.
it
Could
just
be either
because
way.
Xbox.
I mean, they're selling the boxes regardless. You got people saying they got no games. They got one game, which is Bloodborne, and it's still selling. It's for Sony to announce a price drop. It could be either way. They don't have to, and they could, just to undercut Microsoft even more.
I think they'll wait. I mean,
I guess
think there's
a strike when the iron's hot and be like, we've fucking lapped Microsoft 3 times already, and there's no way for them to catch up now. Like, they could just do that, just do the death blow right now and be like, now we just sold another 20 million.
I don't think it'll be quite a death blow. It'll definitely be detrimental, because then, Ubisoft and EA will kind of lean towards PlayStation.
And they kind of already are, though.
Well, even more so. But yeah, I think they'll save the price drop for next year or a little later.
Yeah.
Because it's still, how long has it been out? We haven't had an E3 with these consoles out, have we?
Yeah.
They are that old?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it's only like what, a year? What was for the PlayStation 3? When was that first price drop? Because that was pretty early because of how expensive it was.
I think in close to 2 years in, or almost 2 years in. I think, maybe. I don't remember.
Huh. It'll probably be about the same.
Do you think they would have a surprise at E3? A game? People assume
Sony?
medieval, but
Well, yeah, we already know that's not a thing.
it's quite the ambitious project to be fan made, though. Just to do it, right? Like,
Quite the leak too. Actually revealed that a lot of people would be excited about this game.
well, the way it was leaked, I was like, well, did they do that on purpose? Because there's nothing to say. Like,
Did they pick a game that hasn't been released in a long
just like,
time and has a fan base?
This can net us the views.
Yeah.
Maybe. People clearly did want it, though. There was an interest in that.
Yeah.
Would come back.
They might look into it, but then again, like we were talking about earlier, like the executives have no clue what people want.
Why push old stuff back up again? When you can just create new IPs, which Sony's been doing.
Yeah, but at the same time, the smaller companies, not Sony, but the other companies,
Do you want
they
to see
push
Medieval
up
done
old
by
stuff?
just another company? Just give them the license to make it?
I was never really a fan of it.
No.
I played the demo a few
You wouldn't
times.
care either way then if it was announced.
Not really.
Not a
I would like to see old games like that come back in a new
Tony
style.
Hawk coming back. We'll probably see that there.
They could literally do an HD remix or like
They've
do
done it, though.
the original,
They've done that.
but like have it feel just like the first one, and it would be a success. Then they would have to evolve it again.
I think you'll see Tony Hawk there, but not going to be what it used to be. Same with Rock Band and Guitar Hero coming back. You'll see those there, and I don't know. I don't think they'll have the success that they used to have. They're expensive to start again.
Yeah.
And then Guitar Hero is going with like a first person's perspective, like you're there.
Yeah, it's weird.
And everything's real, like it's
I don't
not
like
CGI. And it's
like
everything's like on the fly reactions, which must be insanely fucking difficult to pull off. To make
Actually,
it
you know what that
seamless.
reminds me of? That reminds me of Sega CD timing games like Sewer Shark and Tomcat Alley.
all the bad ones.
Hey, Tomcat
Nothing good.
Alley wasn't bad. It was just
Sega CD
I don't know.
was
It was
bad.
monotonous. I mean, I know this is Guitar Hero. It's not going to be monotonous, but that's basically what these remind me of.
Yeah, I mean, fun party games, but